this button right here because it's easy to access. And where's my other rig here? I'll start in standard today. We'll go ahead and start that up. Let me grab my other rig here, okay? Be right with you. All right, alrighty, here we go. What happened? Oh, there we are. Hey, Kevin, good morning. Good morning, friend. Good morning. Guitar's a little out of tune. Hope yesterday went well, Kevin. There we go. Let me just get this. Get this right here. There it is. Can you hear this on your phone? Yeah, right on. All right, so my fingernails, good news is my fingernails are not quite back to where they need to be, but we're getting there, Kevin. We're getting there. Just gonna rough it in. Funny how these notes don't sound great together here in an E chord, but they sound okay when they're arranged in a different manner. Funny how that works, isn't it? So it's music. I'd like to just talk about relationship a little bit as we work through this morning, and then relationship as we refer to harmonic complexity and harmonic 5-limit lattice and just consonant or dissonance, right? We'll refer to relationship as consonance and dissonance, I think. Yeah, that'll be a good place to, good relatable way to talk about it. So I did share this. I'm not sure if you guys, if you've heard this or not. I had this really cool little piece of, it's a really cool little song. You've probably heard it by now, I would think, Kevin. And I saw there's Rick. Rick is on board. Good morning. Good morning. What's going on today, Rick? Glad to have you here with us. Just getting a nice slow roll going this morning. Here's the, I wanted to share with you a thing called, a song that I recorded. It's a cover of Ms. Cyndi Lauper's tune, Time After Time. And if you're interested in hearing that, you can listen to that right there. And you can select whether you want to hear it on Apple Music. I kind of prefer Apple Music. I buy a nice subscription to Apple Music, and they do a great job for me for what I use it for. And You know, and some people like Spotify, but I've been hearing there's like a little bit of controversy in there somewhere. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? It'd be a good idea for you to choose how you would like to listen instead of me giving you a link and determining. You know, I think it's a lot easier to just find your way to the song in your own natural way. So there are links to it on the YouTube, but I thought it's really cool. You can hear when you listen to it. Void Ralph did the mastering on it, and you can hear that the guitar, it was just a mono track because it's all recorded on one microphone. And what he did with that one stereo, the stereo track, but is he was able to sort of like widen just the guitars so that they sound like they're outside of, they're on hard left and hard right, and there's some really great stereo imaging going on with the guitar. And it sounds like the voice is like dead clean in the center. Super, super just, I listened back to it after a couple of years, almost 2 years ago now. And I thought, man, what a great little song. What a great song. I'd like to re-record it and really do it some justice. Do you know what I mean? All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead and just start right here. 1 E and a 2. T E and a 4 E and a 2. Morning Rick. All right, so who else do we have here? Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and try this 1 E and a 2, T E and a 4. We're starting with fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I'm sitting with a strong back, I'm sitting with good quality breath in mind, so weird, when I clicked the link, the remove block page came up for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got all these extra things going on being a moderator. I was thinking, Kevin, as a way to wish you happy Merry Christmas, I was thinking maybe I'd love to do a couple of free sessions, you know, like a couple guitar sessions. So just as a way to say thank you for being here. And so if you're interested in that, if that's something that you can fit into your schedule, I don't have a whole lot of, as you can imagine, you know, I'm sure you don't have a whole lot of time. And it'll be a labor of love if it's something that you're interested in doing, but I'd like to say thank you. And I wanted to make that, I was considering just emailing you, but I wanted to make that publicly, I wanted to announce that publicly because you've been here every weekday morning, and pretty much, you know, as much as we have. We all have, some of us have been here every time, and I really appreciate you being here. The keeper of the blue wrench. So if that's something that you're interested, just let me know. We'll get it set up. We can do it anytime you like. Anytime you like. Anytime that works for you, my friend. I don't say this to many. We'll work around you. But yeah, anyway, so here we go. I see Jill's in the house, so good morning, Miss Bourgeois, Mrs. Bourgeois. So thank you for being here. That's great to see you. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Stretch 4. We're starting with, we skipped over the 2-finger and the 3-finger permutations this morning, and we're getting right down into it because we're going back into DADGAD tuning. And today and over the weekend, I'm going to start finalizing the arrangement and hopefully get the recording done this weekend. And we'll go ahead and just see how fun it can be to arrange a piece of music that's open and public domain. You know, number one, so we don't want any copyright strikes. Excuse me. But plus, it's familiar. You remember, like Chris Smither? I don't know if you listen to Mr. Chris Smither at all, but if you listen to Mr. Smither, great singer-songwriter. He always releases a Bob Dylan song on almost all of his records, right? And just a great way to lend introduce familiarity to the listener while you're endearing the listener with your new songs, with your original songs. So there's something to be said for rearranging a cover. It's something that has been around for a long time. We all know the song, I think, internally almost as well as a nursery rhyme. So we may as well go ahead and rearrange Oh Holy Night. And we've been doing this. We've found ourselves, I was thinking that we'd be in drop C minor or something, C, G, C, G, C, and an E flat on the top. But we took a little poll, and the poll said we want to do this in DADGAD. So DADGAD is a really magical tuning. Of course, it's there's a lot of Celtic repertoire that we could play, and just a lot of great finger rolls that we wouldn't otherwise normally be able to, accommodate. We certainly wouldn't be able to introduce those to our listenership if we didn't have the DADGAD going. So DADGAD sure is a great opportunity to do that. All right. So we're starting with kickstand. It's the kickstand exercise, and we're starting in position number 9. Working on the old breath in and out. We're using position number 9 like we just did, but this time instead of stretching the 4th finger, we're stretching the 1st finger back. 1 E and a 2, and I'm going to switch over to my other lap here. 1 E and a 2, T E and a 4, and 8, 10, 11, and 12. I saw a Greenberry here. Why not open D major? That's a good. All right, Greenberry, good, very good. Hold the rhythm, man. Good morning. Is that Mr. Nagy? Good morning. Great to see you. Are you here in the United States? Or are you with us in Hungary? Or where are you? That's great. Now, you don't have to answer any of that stuff. Don't answer any of that stuff. But it's good to, sure, it's good to see you. And we're definitely holding the rhythm with the old metronome. Using it as a sort of a humanizing tool. The thing that we get out of one of the many great things we get out of metronomic study or structure is we get the confidence and the internal time, the confidence to play with others. I'm always confident when I play alone in my bedroom, right? Always confident, but then when I play with others, I always have these we all run into these situations where we have a little bit of a gap in confidence, and this can really, practicing with the metronome can really help mitigate those problems. Yes. So I like to spend every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. ingratiating myself with the metronome. And oh metronome, wherefore art thou, metronome? To metronome or not to metronome? All right, and I'm going to choose to metronome. All right, 1 E and 2, and here comes the 1. It's basically, we did this 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. Now we did the 1, 2, 3 stretch 4, and we did the kickstand exercise, which is that one, and we kick that 1st finger back a fret. Now what I'd like to do, I'd like to kick both of these fingers back, 1 fret each, and then practice that stretch between fingers 2 and 3. So that's a good thing to know how to do. So 1 and a 2, and here we go. If you can hear this. That's the tambourine that I have on the floor that I like to stomp on once in a while. Oh, Down in a Hole. Are you talking like Alice in Chains? Oh, now are you? Wow, who is this dude? Scott Hembry. All right, Scott. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the AIC. Mr. Cantrell is one of my favorite guitar riff writers ever. You know, just did you see the Them Bones video that I think if you look through my shorts, I think there's a video of me covering Them Bones, so I think you'd really enjoy it. I think you're going to like it. So if you haven't yet seen Them Bones, I think you're going to like it. So if you want, I'll be here until 7 or 8:30. If you duck out and go check out that video now, and if you want to leave a comment for me, come back. I'd like to see a comment from you about what your thoughts are. I did the video on this guitar. I think it was this guitar, and it's drop D tuning, and it's just me kind of fooling around with it, but it's a song that I've known for a long time. We used to play it in Moby Toad, and in middle school and high school. A long time ago, when it was all fresh and just coming out of the box. Do you know what I mean? Alice in Chains. Oh my word. If I would, oh man, just oh yeah, oh god, it's just like, you get those like, your hair stand on end or something, you know, that is just a great genre for me, and sounds like a great genre for you. So if you do go check it out, please drop me a comment, and I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on that song and that particular performance, you know, good or bad, as long as it's constructive, that's cool, you know. Say whatever you want as long as you can back it up. You know what I mean? You know, we're not the fake people, are we? That's good. Yeah, good morning. So we've got Lex is in the house. This is one of those things that helps to move things along. You know, the first tip is, the most important tip is to take care of yourself. Treat yourself well, because, you know, charity starts at home. So that's an important piece of guitar practitioner life, I think, is treating yourself well. I have to continue to learn that time and again, but charity starts at home, and you can't help others unless you can first help yourself. So the first thing I do to help myself is to spend some seat time with my guitar. And then what I like to do is I like to do the same exercises over and over and over again. And let's try this right here. So I wanted to try, if your life had a theme song, what would that theme song be? And go. Right there. Let's do it. If your life had a theme song, what would that theme song be? Since we're talking about grunge. So we have this really nice, the thing that I like to do is, the guitar tip I really want to focus on is spending the time with the guitar. I remember being, passing through ages of my life thinking I was a guitar practitioner, and then I realized, like, what do guitar players do? I lived the life, I looked at the life, I had the torn things and the ripped jeans that actually, I didn't buy like that, actually wore them out. Remember that, when you used to have to wear out your own jeans? Now you can just buy them like that and it looks, suspect. So we have the, but no harm, no foul. You do what you do you, I guess, is what people used to say. I'm not a big fan of that because I figured I'd do my own self a favor anyway. I don't really need extrinsic motivators to tell me you do you. Accept it, don't accept it, I don't really care. You know what I mean? That's the kind of attitude that was resounding attitude. It resonated all through the grunge movement. It was all about, it's sort of like, it reminded me of the punk movement. Like, if you don't like what's going on, listen to something else, right? But if you like what's going on, you know why you're here. And I feel the same way about playing the guitar every day. If we know we're supposed to be a guitar player, have you had a calling to play the guitar? Like, what brought you to the guitar? What brings us to the guitar? So another thing that I'd like to do is turn this into a metered and very articulate sort of like sweep picking exercise. So the same diagonal pattern that we were just doing can also be construed as, or practiced as, a down up. So down up, or instead of down up, building our own picking practice, we can also build our own sequencing for our sweep picking practice, right? So we have this down, instead of down up, we have down, 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 and it's all measured. So it's not like, how when you're loading, when you're shooting a bow, I don't know how many of you are archers. I'm sure you've had a basic introduction to archery. So you know that when you draw the string, you're placing a load on the bow, and then as soon as you let, I don't know what kind of, if you're recurve or if you're compound or whatever, but everyone has sort of a different way of doing things. And when you just kind of let that go, the string sort of shoots and it kind of releases all of that stored energy. So the guitar strings work just like that. So if I'm not careful, I'll build up all of this tension and then go immediately to the next string. And that's not really what I want to do. I want this, I'm dramatizing this because it's important to understand that I'm moving very calculated through the entire string set. Did we lose audio again? All right, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but I'll definitely take a look at it. It could be, okay, all good here, okay. Maybe it's a solar flare. Thank you for letting us know, Jill. I appreciate that. Play some gospel music. Amen. Amen, yeah. Jill, it's on your end. Okay, thanks for the feedback. Snowing like crazy here. So there's that. It's snowing up here too. That's right. We're not far. We're pretty much neighbors, Jill. Okay, back. All right, Lex, it's back now. Good. Could be on my side. All right. So I'm just working on this being a, I'm really working on calculating the trajectory of this pick. So this is something that can be used. It's kind of a controlled strum, so if we were to play through some, let's say for example, we're going to come right back to this exercise, but let's say we're playing some to strum that slow strum, not a really quick strum, but that slow controlled strum is that feel that we want. And that's what we want to be able to do with the metronome. So I'm counting 8 attacks per beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1 E and a 2 E and a. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to be. So 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a. So I really want to get that in line before. This is something that we can do separate from actually using any bit of the fret hand. And you can see that I'm really controlling like the pick angle. And I'm really trying to stay as close to either side of the string as possible. Jesus, take the wheel. Absolutely. That's a funny comment, you know what I mean? It's a funny comment to see in a live chat. Funny in the way that, you know, if I was to walk side by side as a disciple with Jesus and realize that who I'm walking next to, that would literally change my life, right? So to try to do everything with that thought in mind is not an exaggeration. It's I'm really glad that people are here sharing those kinds of sentiments in the live chat. It's just great. So I'm working on, you know, why do I need to do this kind of thing? Because does it happen in nature? It certainly does. All of the patterns that we can imagine happen and exist in nature rhythmically. So it's important for me to feel like I can do all of this stuff. And then do those over the span of, you know, over arpeggios, and then make those clean. And those are important exercises too. They're as important as anything else that we do. But the speed is sort of not, it's secondary to the function of the technique, right? So let's just come right back into this minor pentatonic world. We want to just kind of continue building that pentatonic system as well. Lux Eterna, Clint Mansell, thank you for that. Thanks for the confirmation of the audio, Lex, Mr. G. Luke, good morning. Good morning, Luke. Luckman. Play an illegal riff. legal riffs here. They're all legal over here. I know it's kind of it kind of fades the the interest if it's legal. It's like, yeah, I don't really care if I hear it or not. But if it's illegal, it makes you want to hear it that much more, doesn't it? Good. Hi, would it be okay if I ask a question? Yeah, absolutely. Please play Amen to Fanny. Oh. If your life had a theme song, what would it be? I think mine for a while would be lately I've been feeling low. A remedy is what I'm seeking. Reaching, searching, never stop. Floating just for a while, till I get to the end of this tunnel. If you could keep me floating just for a while, get back to you. That's a lot of fun. Those songs are just a tremendous amount of fun to play on the guitar. They're percussive, they're rhythmic, they're hard to sing, and in a Mr. Matthews likeness, but they're just a ton of fun to play. Do you know what I mean? And you got to work at it a little bit in order to pull it off. That's the other thing that I really enjoy about songs like that. You got to work at it. But it's fun to work on, so there's the good news. Any other takers before we take this little thing off here? Very nice, sir. Thank you, Rupper. Is there such thing as playing lead or solo with pick delicately, or sort of not playing with some intensity on all the notes and practice that way? What can be done to practice that? Let's see. Is there such thing like playing lead or solo with a pick delicately, or sort of not playing with same intensity on all the notes and practicing that? Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. All right, yeah. Oh, F and B chords, we're back today. Hey, that's great. I appreciate you coming back. That's wonderful to hear. All right, we'll see if we can get another one of those questions coming up in the next few minutes. But let's go ahead and get through these. We're going to address like ghost note picking and like high sensitivity, high dynamic style playing through this pentatonic system right here. And I think that playing this way, their question, I think I understand it as, how do you create velocity in your playing, right? Because you're going to play through the notes, they get loud and soft. They sforzando, they get louder and softer. How do you do that without speeding up and slowing down? Well, the metronome is a great tool. It's a gift to the practicing guitarist, right? The guitar practitioner. So we'll use shape number 2 and continue to go through. Let's see if I can slide up a little closer to the camera here so maybe we can see and listen to the sensitivity here. And you can feel like you're falling into the tones and you're raising yourself up into the tones. And it's an exercise where that's a great question, because now we can frame to answer something a little more challenging, which is, how do I make my playing more expressive? And that all starts with, you know, the seat time of the guitar. We still want to be practicing the guitar, and we're not practicing just for the sake of practicing. You know, it's like, I'm not making a grilled cheese sandwich just for the sake of making a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm going to use a piece of sharp cheddar. I'm going to use this nice slice of heirloom tomato and a few leaves of like basil maybe in there. I'm going to season it with a little salt and pepper, you know, some maybe pink Himalayan salt, and then crack that on there. I'm probably going to use butter, right? Maybe olive oil. Olive oil is great with sourdough. If you know, so I'm not just making a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm making something that I want to enjoy listening to. I want to enjoy the act. I want to enjoy the process of assembling the thing that is going to nourish me and maybe nourish my family, maybe nourish the listeners I haven't even met yet. So loud and soft is supremely important. You know, I can probably just play a bunch of these notes without even, they're not even recognizable because they're so light and soft and ghosted. And part of this exercise is a straight back, a good solid breath pattern. But practicing, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise is really where it's at. If you're not yet familiar with all of those pentatonic patterns in the pentatonic system, this is a great place to start, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work on growing. Think about sitting on the beach, sitting at a coast, watching a wave pool, you know, surfers and a wave, watching the waves come and go. And then how the wave, you gotta sort of be a shapeshifter a little bit, you know what I mean? You've got to use, you know, I'm a firm believer in using the imagination instead of certain other common tools of the day. I would prefer to use my own sort of human imagination, especially when it comes to performance. Now I'm going to shift back into shape number 3 of the pentatonic system here. But the guitar has a really, really wide dynamic range, and whether you think it can be heard or not, all of the tones are worth playing at whatever level you feel they need to be played at. You learn that kind of lesson by sharing some time with Mr. Carlos Santana. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't all happen at once. There's There's slow growth, steady, repetitive growth, and that's a good thing, right? So shape number 3, we'll go ahead and practice that pentatonic system through shape number 3. And if you're just here, if this is your first time here, I wanted to welcome you. This is the morning ritual for guitar growth. And then it's designed so that you can join us in practicing, or we're not going to say practice. We're not using the word practice. We're using the word warm up. We're warming up to practice. Because what we're doing is first of all, we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we continue through, this is actually, we're getting ready to wrap up this 2025. We've been here every weekday morning this 2025 for the whole year. And we're getting ready to shift gears for season number 2. Season number 2 is going to bring some change. It's going to bring some change. And some of us are going to be happy with it. Some of us are going to be disappointed with it. Some of us are going to be indifferent. And some of us are going to understand that, oh yeah, that's right. We can't do the same thing for the rest of our days. We have to evolve. And so what we're doing is we're going to evolve a little bit as we break into 2026. These are getting cleaner and cleaner every day though, aren't they? You know? It's about breathing still and maintaining steadiness and then continuity in the system, in your whole system. So yeah, good questions, great questions, yeah, in my opinion. What does D over F sharp look like on the guitar? That D over F sharp to me sometimes looks like this, sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes it looks like, you know, it's got like an F sharp with a D and then an A on the top. But the typical sort of like Bob Dylan version might look something like D with the last 3 fingers and that F sharp in the bass, right? Best of both worlds. Yeah, if you're, you know, it depends on who you're playing, you know, you're playing with. Are you playing on the PV, the 5150 amp, and then you're playing with Frankenstein, or you're AC/DC? Are you playing with Pete Seeger? Are you playing, you know, I think it looks different for different applications. I think that's the case, you know. It's good to know as many D over F sharp chords shapes as you can, I think. That's my opinion. This is another really nice one. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead. We've reached the part of the session where we're detuning to DADGAD. So I'm using the open D string, and I'm going to turn off the metronome now because and if I didn't get your question, you know, ask again, that's fine. But we're working through Oh Holy Night. Earlier this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we decided Monday that we're going to, I decided Monday we're working through, what I'd like to do is I'd like to tune down to DADGAD. If you want to learn how to do that, you go back and look at the last 15 minutes of Monday's session and Tuesday's session. That's a great question. Do you have a mnemonic for memorizing the 5 pentatonic shapes? That's a wonderful idea. I've never done that. Maybe you can help us find one together. That would be cool. I'm sure we can get one going in the live chat over time. Might not happen over, you know, over the span of one session, but let's do that. Something that's specific to us, right? Yeah, good. I'm going to call that good enough. DADGBE. And where we left off, we started with the chord changes are basically 1, oh, and the 4 chord goes back to the 1, da, bum, 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 ba, da, ba, and then up to the 5. I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. Let me help that situation. And then we're on the 5th, you know, the octaves here on the low E string at the 7th fret on the D. And the thumb, of course, is just practicing this lightly, very lightly palm muted and thick, fat, rich, whatever descriptive terminology you can find to just, you know, this isn't like cooking a brook trout tail in a pan. You're not going to get that. It's not that crispy sort of crunchy sound. It's not that. You could do harmonics. You can do all kinds of things. We can do all kinds of things to treat this kind of, but the basic piece of this is just to get familiar with pumping on the gas. We're just pressing on the gas. We're not, you know, my wife says, Jason, you're tapping the gas pedal, and I say, no, I'm not. But really, you know, I'm playing through like Neil Peart's drum solo in my head while we're on the road, and so I know I'm tapping the gas pedal. But we're not tapping the gas pedal today. We're just going straight forward, you know. Sammy Hagar says he can't drive 55, but we're going to drive just a constant 55. Just 1 foot on the brake, no foot on the brake, just 1 on the gas, and we're just going. There's too much traffic, I can't pass no. Yeah, his daughter responded to something that we did the other day. Anyway, so we're going back and forth between that repetitive bass pattern. It's and once we get that up to speed, I'm going to practice the major scale on top of that, because I have now, and it's not a high E string anymore. It's a open high D string, which is sometimes it's just too much for some of us to handle. You know what I mean? But it's simple. Just keep it simple. You know. Practice the KISS method. We all know it. It's there for a reason. Now, you notice that we can attack the note. One thing that's really going to be important for this arrangement, I am going to write the tablature. I am going to give you the tablature. I am going to record it professionally. I am going to master it professionally. I am going to release this song professionally, this arrangement. And we are going to play it together. Every one of us will know how to play this song. You know, this is just a super simple thing to do. It will take a little bit of doing, but it's a good thing to do. we can make mistakes here and there, but and Lord knows that's how we grow. But we've got this, you know, we were either playing the melody together with the downstroke, or we're playing it offset. So we've got together, or we're playing it in between the thumb notes. Oh, we've got all of everything that we need right here in these really cool 5-chord, and then we fall on the knees and here, and then we have the E, which we could use. Back to the minor, 6 minor, and then we have the 5. Something like that. We've got the framework kind of, we're finding our way through the framework. So now we know we can play the major scale. Probably a good idea to know how to do the same thing on the B string, because we'll likely need that. Now, if you wanted to put the melody in the middle of the sequence, have you tried giving up? I think you should look into it. Did I miss something? Now we want to tighten it up. We've been exploring a couple of things. Now we want to just sort of tighten it up. Now we've got this really cool thing that we know we can do these flourishes, you know. We can do some kind of an intro like that to invite the listener in. Just keeping the thumb going while playing higher strings is super challenging. Oh, yeah, that's right. Now we can start doing these finger rolls. Here we've got the G string, so the same major scale that we play B. That same thing that we've been doing in the high E and B string, or D and A string, sorry. We should know how to do on the G string. We can get a little more archaic here, you know, more a little Sun House, you know. If we wanted to, but here's the, you know, I'm just going to palm mute those low E, A, and D, or D, A, and D strings, just kind of get a different kind of pulse going, you know. 1, 2, 3, down. And then I'm going to play the D major scale using the G string. So we start with Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Fa, Sol, Mi, Re, Do, Ti, Te, La, Le, Sol. Oh, we got to get that right. And then after this, that's a good point to transition back to open position. Oh look, we just figured it out. Oh, and we only have to use one finger to bar the 4 chord and then the 5 chord. And then we've got it, you know? But the trick is to get that. We'll talk a little bit more about how to not let that D string slip out from underneath our first finger crevices. You can see the little crevice here, this little spot right here where the string can slip through, so we need to make those adjustments so this string sits on either side of that knuckle, okay? But that's about it for today. I know Kevin's coming, if he hasn't already been here and said see you later. Great. Excellent work today, guys and gals, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Here comes Kevin, right here to the rescue, right at the bottom of the hour, right on target. Have a great day, everyone. Until tomorrow, as always, Jason, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody, for being here and being torch bearers for the guitar world that we so enjoy sharing together. So thanks again. Have a super day. Hope to see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. See you, Jill. Happy picking. Until we meet again, happy